This episode is brought to you by Feels. Become a member today by going to feels.com/CAGcast and get 50% off your first order with free shipping.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to CAGcast episode number 645. I'm your host, GBD, here in Long Island, New York. And as always, we're joined by a man who's infinitely excited about Halo, Wombat.
I can't wait. I love Master Chef.
I was saying Master
I have
Chef
all of
day.
his knives.
Yeah, I can't stop saying Master Chef either for some reason.
Because it's funny.
Right. That's a good point, Wombat.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Shipwreck, how you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Mm-hmm.
Shipwreck, your room looks way too clean. What's happening?
Looks way too
over there?
clean?
I don't know. It looks. I would eat off that floor right there.
This is the same cleanliness that's always here, I believe. It's a little bit messy, I think.
Oh, I don't know.
It's just wide open. You know, he just has space.
It's wide open spaces.
Yep. Well, you know, it is the cowboy country of Ohio. I learned that this week. So
Yes, all of our sheriffs wear cowboy hats.
Your sheriff wears a cowboy hat?
and he has a big white mustache.
Yeah. He was making the rounds in national media. It's not my sheriff. It's a couple counties over sheriff.
Oh.
But
Why? What was his
Hazard County.
yeah. He's not the mass police, is what he was saying over and over again.
Oh, not the mask police? Oh.
Yeah. But,
They should show him the cartoon. These are the mask police. Mask. Our police actually wear masks.
I haven't noticed. So
What?
I haven't noticed if the police wear masks.
Oh, you haven't seen any police officers in your town?
No,
in the
it's
last several months. For real?
No. I mean, most of my neighbors are police officers, but I haven't, been like.
They're just hanging
checking
around.
up
They're
on
not
them.
working.
No.
Right. Actually, you're right. Actually, the only time I've seen police were at the Black Lives Matter march that I went to, but they were wearing masks.
Yeah.
That way they could curse us all underneath their mask.
Yeah,
You
they
wouldn't
could.
know.
Yeah,
I think that's what was happening.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Pretty much. So welcome to the show, everybody. Got a big show today because we've got the Xbox Game Showcase. Is that what it's called? I
think that's what they call it.
It sounds good enough.
Summer of Xbox Game Showcase.
Not a console showcase.
No, just games.
They made sure we knew that going in. I realized
Make
now
that
I can see
clear.
my
This is not the info you're looking for.
Right.
No,
Please
I can
watch
see
the
my
stream live at xbox.com/no console information. We'll talk about that later. A lot of games to talk about. I think we all watched it at some point, at least. Yeah, so we'll get to that later. What's going on, Ship? Have you moved into the Doomsday bunker?
We did, yes. The
Doomsday retreat, rather.
Yes, we.
So
took
what's the
possession
address of the cabin again?
Let me just
The
read it
address?
off here.
Ask Tucker Carlson.
You both are welcome to come to the cabin anytime. But no, it's nice. It was exactly what we wanted. I put together a ton of furniture.
That's the worst.
It was.
It was the worst. Admit
I'm not
that
going
it
to
was the
complain
worst.
about putting together more furniture in my cabin, but
You
it was. We saw a lot of wildlife. We just chilled out. It was nice.
Right.
I'm looking forward to going back.
Nice. How's the internet there? Excellent or just very good?
I will not be doing any live shows from the cabin. It's fine down. I think I was pulling like 17 down, but then I was struggling to get one up.
I heard that about you, actually.
That's yes.
Yeah. You set that up for us perfectly.
Uh-huh.
Thank you. Can somebody clip that? Thank you. I can do it. I think I have a button.
It's already
Clip that.
it's already
Boom.
clipped, remember?
I did it. I'm prepared, finally.
Good job.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. So what's you have like a pool up there or something? A lake would be good for you, I think.
There's lakes nearby, but I have a lot of trees with a lot of shade. That was what's good for me.
Yes, that's the most important thing. That's what I look for anywhere I go in the summer, especially.
Right.
What's the shade situation like?
It was good. It was crazy. Like, so it's in this really small town, obviously. Like, we're in the suburbs of a really tiny town.
Right.
No stoplights or anything. But they do have a little grocery store. And
You
I
could make
took
a
picture
killing
of-
introducing them to stoplights.
Right. I took a picture of something that was in the grocery store. I did not buy it, but I found a package of Dippin' Dots corn chips snack.
So
They-
is it like Muddy Buddies? Do you know what those are?
I know what Muddy Buddies are. I do not
That's-
know what this is like because I did not
It's
buy
a
it.
family show, everybody.
But
Oh yeah, Don't worry, the hardcore.
I don't know how
fucking,
you guys know
we'll
all
talk
about
about
Muddy
hardcore
Buddies, but
fucking later.
I never heard of
you were saying?
I never heard about no Muddy Buddies. But okay, go on with the Muddy Buddies.
no, that was so they have a grocery store. It's got delicacies like Dippin' Dots corn chips.
Wait, Dippin' Dots is the fake ice cream.
It's not fake ice cream. It's real ice cream.
It's ice cream of the future.
It's
Okay.
it's blasted with, what is it, nitrogen, liquid nitrogen?
So this is
That's the
corn
stuff?
chip flavored ice cream, is what you're saying?
Yes, I believe that's what this is in a
Nice.
bag. Like this is like a Frito-Lay's type product, except it's from a company called Hers.
So did you buy? Yes, I'm familiar with hers. Did
Yeah.
you buy them?
Oh no, not a chance.
So what's the point of the story?
Oh, the point of the story was as I was on the way to this grocery store, there was in this very small town, there was like this 20-something-year-old guy, like with a skateboard that was just standing on the sidewalk, just by himself. There's maybe like a car going by like every 10 minutes. He's out there with his Black Lives Matter sign. So I gave him a thumbs up.
Nice.
Like he's just out there, just like standing in the heat. Nobody's passing him. It's like, all right, dude, good on you.
There's nobody going by. That's a key point there, I guess.
Right.
Right. Because I think I mentioned, like, when I've been driving into the city every time to go play ping pong, there's always a guy on the same bridge with an American flag, waving the American flag, and he's always got a mask on, and the mask is also like some form of American flag, and he's just there. But he's getting a lot of traffic, literally a lot of traffic. So I guess is he wasting his time more or less than your guy? That's the question.
I mean, my guy, I gave him a thumbs up 2 times, once on the way to the grocery store, once on the way back.
Do you think he told people about that? I saw somebody today.
I'm
He gave you a
sure
thumbs
he's
up?
live streaming about it right now.
To
No,
nobody.
sorry, no, he's got one up. So,
Right. He can't get one up either.
right.
What about you, Wombat? Anything going on over there? I see you have we worked on the dramatic lighting for today's show. So
yeah,
that's
I
looking
adjusted
really
my
good.
lighting a little bit. I also got a haircut
Very dramatic as well.
this last show. I know Shipwreck talked about his. Mine was different because my wife did it. I'm
Nice.
done. I'm done going to a place to get my haircut.
You've
That's
had your
one thing
last
I learned.
professional haircut.
Yeah, I'm like done. Never again. Like I got the blade. I know what size to use. Just bzz, bzz, bzz. In 2 days, it looks normal again, and then and I'm
okay.
good because I work from home.
That's not your normal haircut that you would go pay for, though, right?
No, it's not, but I like it. But I like it. That's the thing.
I
It's
like
That's
how-
all that's important. I was just making sure that you weren't paying for that same experience when you went.
No,
Yeah,
I
okay.
when I go to get a haircut, it's usually like, oh, keep it a little longer on the top, you short on the sides, part over
Right.
there,
Right.
and I'm like, no, screw it, just bzz, bzz, bzz,
So
bzz.
is that a Flowbee?
It's I have a buzzer, I have clippers,
Okay.
and I like it because I don't have hair. Because when my hair grows over my ears, I kind of get annoyed. Cheapy knows what I'm talking about. When your hair grows over your ears,
About you
hate
annoying
that.
me? Is that what
Uh-huh.
we're talking about? Oh,
That's
sorry.
what I'm talking about. So I just had enough, and I didn't feel like going to a haircut place because I don't trust anyone yet. And here we are. That's that. Oh, and I had some minor oral surgery yesterday.
How'd that
So-
go?
It went all right. You ever be sitting in the dentist chair and they rip the thing out of your mouth, and then the dentist goes, "Oh, it looks a lot worse under there than we were expecting,"
Oh,
he
that's bad.
says.
That's bad.
And they have to stop twice to stop the bleeding, like 2 10-minute clips of stopping the bleeding. And although you can't really see what's going on, you know that there's like blood rushing out of your face and on
Ew.
top of your chest.
I'm going to throw up right
you
now.
you know what I'm talking about? You know
No.
those days? You ever have those days where blood is rushing out of your face and it's going all over a giant napkin that someone pinned to your chest? You ever have those days? 'Cause
Right.
that was my day yesterday.
Were you like super high at least? Or
No Novocaine.
What?
Because they were
No
working on it.
Novocaine.
They
What
were
is your-
working on a dead tooth, and they're like, "You don't need Novocaine for this."
Did you?
Oh.
No, I was fine. I made it through. No Novocaine, no gas. I did watch Parks and Rec while they were doing it, though. That was it. They put noise canceling headphones, but it was a good. I was there. I think it was about an hour and 45 minutes of work, mostly drilling. Which even when you can't really feel the drilling because of the dead tooth, you could still hear it and smell it, and there's the
Oh, I hate
pressure of
that.
it.
Yeah, there's still somebody in your mouth with a drill.
Right.
And when you're done, it's like, and then like all around the sides are all kind of like cut up, and the headache has just started to go away. But I have to go back tomorrow.
But what needed to happen? Oh, you have to go back.
I have to get the crown had to be finished, so they have to put the final crown. So now I have a temp on.
Okay.
Yeah, but I had a crown that was 20 years old, and underneath the crown, it got super infected. It's gross. So
everybody
that
throw up.
happens. Yeah.
Well, glad that's going better for you now.
Yeah, so that's lots of the blood and stuff. So fun times.
Right. All right.
And I'm wearing a Call of Duty shirt.
Let's see it. Is this an old an old E3 shirt?
Call of Duty shirt.
How many Call of Duties ago is this?
You got to show it.
Ghosts.
Come on, lift yourself out of that chair. You can
It's
do
Ghosts?
it. Oh, come on.
Okay.
This is the most exercise you had all day. Do it again. Let's go for 3.
That's okay.
Right.
So, yay.
How about some show feedback, Wombat?
Oh, yeah, I could do that. All right. Okay.
Get yourself situated first, though. Get in there.
Yeah.
You're in. He's in.
Oh, I got to catch my breath. Wait. Okay. No.
Is that the Herman Miller chair that you're sitting in?
This is, you know what? This is an actual antique chair that I'm sitting in, which is crazy enough. Anyway, show feedback. I'm going to read these both because they're related. Zimmy had to say, wow, I had a big smile on my face when I heard Wombat tell me to F off. As a Long Island boy, Selden, living in Florida, I've been a fan since the beginning and love the show. Thank you very much. My comments were more about the complete lack of The Last of Us 2 talk, which I thought was strange.
Oh, I remember this guy.
Yeah, this was the guy who wanted to know why we weren't talking about
Right, and he
the
told him
big
to fuck
games.
off. God, I remember that. Yep,
Yes. And then T. Clearing has to say, I've been disappointed not to hear more about The Last of Us 2 as well, since it's probably the biggest game so far this year. Really, though, I don't think this is the type of game I could see them playing. It's a linear, and then he goes on and talks more. The point of me reading these 2 comments is we have a friend that hosts a Last of Us 2 podcast.
Yeah.
His name is Christian Spicer. He hosts the official The Last of Us 2 podcast. It's excellent. Go. You want to hear about The Last of Us 2? Go listen to that.
Right.
Just leave me alone.
Yeah. He was. I streamed to him the other day.
Yeah.
I had so many.
I know,
technical
I was
problems.
there.
I know. Remember how many technical problems we had? That was
You had
fun.
a lot of technical, and I had to carry both of you in a game of Call of Duty.
I was impressed actually. You were pretty. You did all right. I don't want to
You
say
had
pretty
1
good.
kill. I had 4.
I mean, in one game.
Uh-huh.
I was pushing a lot of. I was broadcasting. There's a
Oh,
lot
is that
going
what
on.
it is?
Like,
Is
it's very
that what we call it
distracting.
now?
Look, I just had to ban somebody from the chat. They were too annoying.
Yep.
Luckily, you were telling some.
It's really hard for us to talk about The Last of Us 2 when none of us wants to play it or is playing it.
Or owns it, yeah.
Or it's pretty much the 3 reasons why we haven't talked much about The Last of Us 2. It's not that we don't want to. It's just that we don't want to
We
play
don't
the
play it.
game.
Yeah.
Or are we playing the game? Or we don't own it.
I did check my library several times to see if they had it. Online. I checked. Didn't go there, but they did.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a fine game.
Right. While people in the chat are requesting your dog make an appearance on the stream.
My dog is on the bed with my wife, and my dog does not go into any room that my wife is not in. So,
Look, this is the perfect time to demonstrate our new broadcasting the chat technology, where I just posted that. I sent that request right to the stream. It was a little delayed because I forgot to do it until I said it. But he has an alpha avatar. It was totally worth it.
That's amazing.
It
I
is
have no
amazing.
idea what you did, but I'm sure
It was of the highest quality.
it was the best thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was good. It was really good. Even though we
I
didn't see it.
couldn't believe it.
Any other show feedback? Yes, there is, I think.
No, that was it.
Oh. All right. That is it.
I read the 2 comments
Got
because
it.
they were related to each other.
Got it.
And then I plugged my friend's podcast because I'm a good person.
Hey, he's my friend too. I like his
No, he's
podcast.
No, he's not. He's not your friend. He told me.
How did he say it?
He said, "Oh, he's not my friend." He did Venmo me the money though for that burrito.
What burrito?
Oh my God, you don't remember the burrito conversation?
Oh,
we
yes,
had during
yes,
your
yes,
stream?
yes. You were going to have a burrito right after. He told you to get a burrito.
A specific burrito.
Right. I remember. I was busy trying to fix the broken stream, so I wasn't really. That was the banter you were distracting the audience with while I was trying to fix everything.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Maybe. That could have happened. Can't deny that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Blah, 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 blah.
Should we move on to watch this, bitches?
We might as well.
I watched a classic film with Ty and my wife called The Terminator, which was pretty. I mean, there's a sex scene in it, and that was Ty thought that was a little awkward, which as he should probably.
Yes, that's the appropriate response for watching that with your parents.
But I'm not gonna fast forward through it. That would be more awkward, I feel. But
did you
the
tell
movie
him to cover his eyes?
look away. Go, I haven't watched The Terminator in a really, really, really long time, and I was really impressed how well it held up. Except the stop motion still doesn't look good, but there's a lot of great cinematography in that. I didn't realize how good that movie really looked, and we all enjoyed watching it. Ty liked it and seemed to he understood what was going on. He got the plot, and it's. For an R-rated movie, it's just that sex scene is, you see Linda Hamilton's nipples.
Okay, it's funny. I saw that movie 2 months ago. It does hold up. It's very good.
Right. I thought you were going to make a comment about Linda Hamilton's nipples.
I mean, once you've seen them you've seen them 100 times.
Right.
What? We did watch Back to the Future. Elliot saw that for the first time this week.
Did you like it?
Yeah, he liked it.
Yeah.
He also saw Mrs. Doubtfire.
How's that?
That's good. My wife likes that movie a lot. I'm fine with it. That movie is long. How long do you think Mrs. Doubtfire is?
7 hours.
Close. It's 2 hours and 10 minutes long.
It was really ahead of its time because now all movies are that long.
I know. It's like, what, why? Why? Robin Williams dresses up like an old lady. They find out. And everyone sort of lives happily ever after?
The movie was supposed to be an hour and 20 minutes long, but then they added 45 minutes of Robin Williams just ad-libbing.
It's just, hello!
I still have
45 minutes of that. They play. It's literally that same thing. They just kind of loop it on
right.
like a live picture on your iPhone. Hello! Hello!
You've never seen Mrs. Doubtfire?
When that trailer came out, and I know it was a ridiculously huge hit. I saw that trailer and I was just like, "There's no way I'm watching that movie." It's just I'm not watching Robin Williams in that getup for a whole movie, going hello like wombat. I mean, he does that in the trailer. That's part of the trailer.
He does do that in the trailer.
And I was like, "No, I'm not. No," and I still haven't seen it. I'm good like that.
Probably watch that at some point. Watch that one with Ty.
Yeah, Ty would like you and Ty would like it. Yeah.
If that's on Amazon Prime or something, you can do these Twitch watch-alongs. Maybe I would do that. That's the only way I'm subjecting myself to these types of things.
I'm trying to think of anything else I watched. I don't think I watched anything particularly exciting since the last show. I'm sort of saving my energy for the Go-Go's documentary that comes out next week.
Can't wait for the review.
Good move.
Right.
I saw a music-based movie as well.
What'd you see?
I saw Trolls World Tour.
How's that?
That it's cute. It's not nearly. I don't think it's nearly as good as the first Trolls movie. Have you guys seen Trolls World Tour?
I have, yeah.
Okay.
I reviewed it on this very show.
I thought you did. I can't remember. Did you like it as much as the first movie?
No, because the first movie I was shocked on how weird it was because I didn't know anything about it when I sat down in the theater.
Sure.
And I was like, "Oh, they can make a movie like this, just completely off the wall, make no sense, And so once you know that that's coming your way, it takes away some of the magic, I feel.
Yeah, I think that was part of it. And I mean, the plot in this one's pretty thin as well. There's not nearly the character development because you know all the characters already.
They're collecting stuff, right?
Yeah, they're collecting stuff and going from music world to music world, basically.
Right.
Still a fine kids movie, but I was hoping for more.
Right.
The McElroys were great in it, though.
Yes. Is that it for? Oh, here's an incoming chat question for Watch This Bitches. Oh, what does it say? Oh, thanks for this is from Stu Chu, and he says thanks for recommending Dark Cheapy. Are you confused with all the characters? It does get a little confusing because it's a German TV show, and a lot of people look the same. You know, they don't. There's not a lot of variety. But as you watch the episodes, you'll be less confused because they do explain the characters over and over again, so it's natural to be confused through the first few episodes, I would say. How's that for an answer? Should we move on to GPD's Wide World of Sports-like stuff? Because
Sure.
sports is starting. I saw in the chat people were getting very excited about baseball. Is that tonight is the first?
Tonight is opening night of baseball.
Got it. So I saw that like the Mets are selling cardboard cutouts to the fans can put their likeness in the stands. Is your baseball team doing that, Chip?
No. As far as I know, like they showed some. They had some exhibition games on earlier this week, and it's just an empty stadium with some advertising tarps over where people would be sitting normally.
Yeah, the Mets. I think the money goes to charity. Maybe some of it does, but they were charging $86, and you can get your.
Did you see the thing that Fox is doing, where they're pumping in fake crowds,
digitally inserting crowds?
Oh, are they?
Yeah,
Right.
they're making AI crowds.
That sounds
I don't
weird.
know. Yeah, I don't know if I need that.
No, I watched a little bit of one of the exhibition games, and it is weirdly quiet to see, like when to watch. It's like, this is weird, but
I can understand pumping in. You want to pump in some like white noise or like crowd
yeah.
murmur, like just the, some mild racial comments.
Yeah, they were doing that at the Reds game. The racial comments in
Right.
particular.
was it
Right.
weird to watch? Because the first thing that we noticed was the nets aren't there behind the catcher.
Oh, they
That
took
is-
I don't
away
know
the
if
nets.
I didn't notice that at all.
Oh,
So-
that was on the game I watched. All the netting was down because there's no one in the stands,
Hmm.
and it was weird. It made it look almost like a little league field without the big netting and contraptions and the people. It was very strange.
I'm probably not going to watch any baseball.
I'll watch some. The weird part about this season is that the Reds are they've assembled a good team, at least on paper. And so now I don't know how invested.
Someone watched Moneyball.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know how invested I want to get in the season because at any point, like the entire team could get COVID, right?
Right. And it doesn't even mean anything. Like any team can get knocked out at any given time. The best team could get knocked out. It just sounds. It's basically like a COVID tournament. It's not a season of baseball. It's just like who's going to be able to avoid getting sick, who's going to wash their hands the most, and wear the masks the most. Basically, who's got the best self-control and discipline. And also can hit a ball good.
It's part of it. Yeah.
It's part of it. But it adds an extra dimension this season.
It's certainly, I think baseball has a better chance of surviving it than basketball. Maybe basketball's all in that bubble where baseball is traveling around, which is the.
What do you mean
tricky part about
basketball's in a
baseball.
bubble?
So all the basketball teams are down in Disney.
Yeah,
What?
They
Yeah.
quarantined the NBA together, essentially.
And they're all playing at Disney in one court?
Yeah, they're all at
Yeah.
Wide World Sports.
And if they go outside,
Yeah.
they get sniped.
You mean they can't go on the rides?
No, they can't get snipers. It's literally snipers and perches.
These guys are worth,
waiting.
making a lot of money for people.
The guy who actually wears a shirt that says "Test me, LeBron," and yeah.
Right. That sounds fun for them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they only invited the good teams too.
Wait, what? It's not all the teams?
No, they didn't invite the teams that were having terrible seasons.
What? That's not right. So what are those guys just have, they're on vacation?
Yeah, I mean, at this point they would have just been phoning it. Well, I mean, the playoffs would have been going on right now anyways, but they would have been sitting at home anyway. So they're like, we're just going to keep all those teams at home, even though we're not quite to the playoffs yet in this scenario. So it's a good system, I guess. Sports are so weird. It's so weird to watch them right now because it's hard to fully cheer for what's going on.
Yeah. What about the other big sports news? What is the new Seattle hockey team? Is the Seattle Kraken, which everybody knew was happening, I guess. It was not a surprise.
I didn't know.
I looked at I don't care. Yeah.
That's a fun name.
It's a good name. The jerseys didn't look that fun though. They look very.
It's not
generic.
a giant squid.
It's not. I don't think so. Didn't. I just took a quick look. It didn't catch my eye.
Gotcha.
But I don't know. Should we do new releases? I think we should do new releases.
If you think so, then I think
it's the next thing on this list, so it would make sense.
You're playing one of these, Cheapy.
Which one?
The Ghosts of Tsushima.
Radical Rabbit Stew.
No.
Tsushima.
No. Ghost of Takaporsche?
Yep.
Yeah, that's the one. Takaporsche.
Yes, we've been playing Ghost of Tsushima at the Chibi household. Mrs. Chibi is a big fan. We've been playing it every night since it came out. Much to the diminishment of our television watching. This is all we really do before bedtime. Mrs. Chibi loves it. She's super into it. She's really impressed. She was really surprised to learn that it was developed by a Western development team and not Japanese people, because I guess the details in it are they really must have dug deep to get all this stuff and to get it to look a certain way. And she was also very impressed by the voice acting, the Japanese voice acting at least. And apparently she follows Japanese Twitter, and she was saying that they basically all feel the same way. Everybody seems the Japanese people seem very impressed by that Whitey was able to pull off Ghost of Tsushima. And so am I, quite frankly. It is really fun, but if you're not expecting Assassin's Creed Samurai, then you might be disappointed.
What else would you want?
I don't know. I saw a lot of people, when I posted some screenshots of the game that I was playing, that I took, because it's got a great photo mode, and I'm constantly doing that shit. People were tweeting at me saying, "Oh, this game is a really big disappointment. It could, this game could take place at anywhere, anytime." I mean, yeah, I guess you could reskin the game and make it pirates, but you could do that with really any game, any genre.
Ooh, Ghosts of Barbados. I'd play that.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
But they've done a really good job, I feel, for this game, at least with the Japanese stuff. The music is great.
How's the combat?
The combat's really fun and smooth. If you've played a modern action game in the last few years, you'll be familiar with it right away.
Well, I that's what I'm asking. Is it? I mean, obviously it's all swords. I'm assuming swords.
You got bows. You got some bows, and you got some, some smoke bombs and whatnot of things like that. Knives. No machine guns. I'm sorry.
No machine guns.
No guns.
Any iconic pickaxes?
No. It's you play dress up. Wombat.
Okay.
There is dress up.
Wombat's in.
It's really.
I would get it if I'm just cheap. That and I had to pay for this thing to get done. I had to pay to bleed all over myself.
The visuals are unbelievable. It's it's just the art. It's just really artistic. It's not just the graphics. It's the art design of the game that makes it really stand out. It's just super colorful. And I know people are playing in the black and white mode and loving that too. But once the colors just explode off the screen, I could see us playing in black and white just to check it out for a little bit, but same thing with the English voices. I could see checking out the English voices for a little bit, but it just seems so much more authentic when you play with the Japanese voices, even though it doesn't lip sync properly. But it didn't bother me at all because I'm reading the subtitles. You can't look at their faces when they're talking.
I would skip all that anyway, so it really doesn't matter.
Okay, and you know what? It's not super story heavy. It's not, I never get to the point where I'm like, X, 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 or circle, 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 whatever the fuck it is. We're really having a fun time with Ghost of Tsushima, and I'd recommend it for sure. Unless I don't know what people are expecting. They're expecting like Way of the Samurai, something like Dark Souls, more hardcore, because there's a complaint that it's too easy. I don't know.
I remember Way of the Samurai. That was a good game.
I feel like they tried to make this game a little more ambitious. Like the game, like you're obviously a samurai in it, and as you
whoa, wait a minute!
I know,
you never told me that.
But one of the main story arcs of the game or story beats of the game, is that you're a samurai, and samurai has a code, and that code is not assassinating people. It's not sneaking up behind them and cutting their throats, or shooting them with a bow and arrow from 100 feet away. It's fighting them. It's saying, hey, I'm here. I'm a samurai. Let's fight. And then you fight everybody. And that's it. That's the only thing you're really allowed to do. But this game incorporates basically a lot of ninja things, like throwing knives at people, smoke bombs, actual bombs, jumping off of roofs and assassinating people, like ninja stuff. I feel like...
So what's better? Samurais or ninjas? I think that's the real question.
And I think that's what they were trying to do when the original concept of the game might have been, was like, hey, you start off as a samurai, let's give the player an option to become a ninja or retain his honor as a samurai. But they probably discovered that wasn't as fun as just like, hey, let's just give you all these abilities, like throwing knives at people's faces.
Yeah, but ninjas dress better than samurai.
They could have thrown that in, I feel. Like maybe that was the original idea.
Care to weigh in? Who dresses better, ninjas or samurai?
I don't really have a strong opinion on that. I think they both dress fine.
Budo? Snake Eyes.
Okay, you pulled out the Budo. It's a good pull.
Thank you. Come on.
Well, Snake Eyes is part commando as well.
That's true. Budo, Storm Shadow.
Okay. Right. We talking first gen Storm Shadow? Or...
Yes, we're talking first gen.
Lewis on Fire writes, and he wants to know if we talked about not being able to lock on. So this is a third-person action game. There's no target lock in the game. You have to move the camera manually at all times, and that seems to be one of the big complaints from people who have complaints about the game. You will get into a fight and be blocked off by a wall and just be like, oh shit, and now you're fighting with the camera. It happens a lot. But at the same time, it gives you the freedom to really create...
To yell at the camera?
To yell at the camera and also create something that also not only is functional, but looks good. Like, I feel I play this game always trying to make it look pretty. Like, I try to put the camera in a position that makes the game look pretty for Mrs. Cheapy. Not so much... what's the best strategically. I don't know. So it is a valid complaint, though. I could see people it would be nice to have that option. I don't know why it's not at least in the game that you could turn off, but it's not.
It's part of the samurai code.
Right.
No lock on.
The game code is samurai code. Not a lot of people know that.
But it's really cool. I wish you guys would check it out so we could talk about it more.
I've been playing the other big release.
What?
Paper Mario, the Origami King.
Oh, nice. Yeah, look at that. I was expecting you to say something dumb, but you didn't.
No, I didn't. I didn't for once.
I know. I'm like so disappointed.
Well, I bet you would hate this game.
Really?
You would have so much dialogue to skip.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So much dialogue to skip. Particularly early on, it's a little bit talky.
Is there actual voice acting or is it?
No, this is a Nintendo game.
Right.
This is
it's
just
wall
I don't get it, guys. I just do not. I don't get it.
No, it's.
I get it, but
bubbles.
I don't get it.
And then what? Time button presses like the last couple of.
So that's there is that, but the combat's kind of neat this time around. First of all, the writing, what's there's a lot of it, but it's actually very cute. A lot of puns and dad jokes and plays about them being paper, that type of stuff. The combat is turn-based, button press timed, like you when you hop on a Goomba's head, you want to hit A at the right time to get extra damage.
They've been using that mechanic forever. I
Yeah,
played one
but it
Paper
worked.
Mario game, and I remember that.
But they screwed it up in some of them. This one, they did
What do
not
you
screw
mean? The
this one up.
timing was wrong?
No, they just like they had that whole sticker system. It was a mess.
Okay.
But this one adds another layer to that. Like everything, at least so far what I've played, everything is laid out in a circular battlefield where Mario's right in the middle, and then enemies are placed on the sides, and it's a ring. So there's like 4 rings, and at the beginning of the battle, the Goombas or whatever are placed, and then the rings spin around, or the Goombas can move between the rings, and it's all like sectioned off like in pizza slices. So before the battle starts, you can adjust the rings, like spin the rings to move the characters back into groups that make sense for your attack abilities. Like if you use your boots to jump, you're going to do like a lineup of like, you could do 4 hops in a row if you have 4 Goombas that are in a line. Or if
I
you're
feel
gonna
like
use
this wasn't this in the old game too? It sounds familiar.
No.
Okay. Not that part. The
not this
last
part.
part, the 4 in a line hopping thing. I don't know.
That
Maybe I'm
could,
thinking of Super
yeah,
Mario
no, that
Brothers.
could be, but it didn't have this whole like mechanic of moving around the enemies before you do attacks.
Right.
So it adds it so that it's a little bit more involved than just the standard, I'm going to select this attack and then time up my button presses. Not much. It doesn't add a whole lot more, but it adds a little something to it.
Are you actually playing this game? Are you gonna like finish this, or are you just gonna go
Yeah,
back to
no,
Animal Crossing?
I like it. It looks really nice. And I like, if Paper Mario is done well, I like it. I enjoy the whimsy of it.
Right.
Somebody's asking if it would be too difficult for a 5-year-old. If your 5-year-old can read, it would be fine for a 5-year-old. If your child cannot read, then they're going to be very confused about what's going on in this game.
What are all these symbols on the screen constantly flowing through the screen? Just push X.
Right. Well, I mean, the problem is like it's going to give you hints. Like if you don't read the hints, you could get lost in these games, right? Because you're not going to go explore everything.
Right.
So.
Right. Oh, by the way, remember when you were making fun of the wind mechanic in Ghosts or Ghost? It's actually pretty cool. If I could just say that, I do like watching the wind blow.
Great.
To lead me to my destination.
I'm glad you came around on that.
I've come a full 180 on that. It is cool. It's cool. Everything. I don't know. It's very stylistic. That game does a great job. All right. What else in new releases?
I think the rest of these new releases are from last week, actually.
Okay. We talked about
this
Super Hot.
Yeah, this seems like the same release list we had last week.
Yeah, I don't think this is the actual new one.
Oh,
but
what
that's
the hell?
Okay. Yeah.
Did I not
sorry.
do it? I thought
I don't think you did it.
No, you did. You did the one from last week, but we didn't have one last week.
Oof.
So technically we were a week behind. We really should have 2 lists, but you screwed that up. So good job.
Right.
But,
Right.
Yeah.
At least
That's
they got
fine.
the microphones working when we started.
I think
the show.
we talked about the 2 biggest games that are out.
Yeah,
right
I
now.
know. It's
Okay.
it's fine. It's not really a big deal because the only other game that came out that's coming out this week, you and I have both played already, and we'll get to that later.
All right. And before we get to that and the big Xbox game showcase, let's talk about feels. Do you experience stress or have anxiety or chronic pain or have trouble sleeping at least once a week? You're not alone. Many people do. Wombat, what is feels? Let's do call and response, Wombat. I think this could really work for us.
Feels is premium CBD delivered directly to your doorstep. Feels says it naturally helps reduce stress, anxiety, pain, and sleeplessness. Feels is easy to take. Just place a few drops of Feels under your tongue. It's so easy. Are
Right.
you new to CBD? Feels offers a free CBD hotline and text message support to help guide your personal experience. Feels works naturally to help you feel better. There's no high, no hangover, or addiction. Join the Feels community to get Feels delivered to your door every month. You'll save money on every order, and you can pause or cancel anytime. Become a member today by going to feels.com/CAGcast, and you'll get 50% off your first order with free shipping. That's FEALS.com/CAGcast to become a member and get 50% automatically taken off your first order with free shipping.
Wow. You did a fantastic job. I was not
Thanks.
expecting you to do all the heavy lifting, but you did it, Wombat.
That's
Thank
what
you,
I do.
Wombat, and thank you, Feels.
Yes.
Should we talk about the Microsoft event first?
Do we want to do that, or we want to talk about that you played Carrion and I played Carrion?
Okay.
Carry on? Carrion.
Carry on, my wayward game. No.
This is the reverse horror game that's 2D. And yeah. And you play as a giant monster.
Okay. Yes, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I really enjoy it.
Yeah, you play as a giant red monster. You're going around, you're eating people. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's got, the old school pixel graphics, but the way the monster, the way you control the monster, the way it feels is really good. It really did a good job of making you feel strong.
Yeah.
It's got the small puzzles that Shipwreck craves. And
What kind of puzzles?
Just to getting from like Castlevania type puzzles. How do I get to this type of thing? It's basically, it's a Metrovania game where you're the monster breaking out.
Oh,
from the
really?
lab.
it's 2D?
It's 2D. Yeah. It's a 2D Metroid style game.
It's a Devolver
You're
joint.
a monster. You need to get upgrades to unlock different areas, and you're
So I should play this.
Yes, you should play. I have another game that you should be playing also, Shipwreck.
Fantastic.
A game that you, because Carrion you can't play with the kids in the room. That's a no kids in the room game.
Okay.
But Forager is a kids in the room game.
I believe I have this game.
That game is on Game Pass. So you may have it twice for all I know.
For all I know, I might too.
I've been playing that on the Xbox. I think it's on everything else though. But it's on Game Pass, so there it is. It's also sort of that 8-bit style 2D graphic. It's sort of like Animal Crossing / Minecraft, but very light versions of both those games mushed into one. You're a little blob guy. You're, hitting rocks and you're building a furnace and you're making little bridges and you're expanding your land and you're building bows and arrows, and it's cute and it's very addictive because it's very easy to play and it's very relaxing. It's kind of mellow, and I could see you and your children really liking it.
And unlike Carry On, you don't eat people.
You
don't cut them in half
people.
and then eat their legs after you eat their torso.
So, I mean, we're still pretty much hard into Animal Crossing and Lego Batman 3. We got to start Lego Batman 3 from the beginning again because Dash hurried through the menus and copied over our save file. So
was he really happy about that?
He didn't really seem to care too much. Like he was a little bit like, hey, where are all my characters at?
Right. How'd you sell that so that he didn't get upset? Hey, we get to do it all again.
That's pretty much what it was. It was like,
how much fun is it going to be?
And yeah, he was fine with it. Like, he doesn't care. He would play Lego Batman 3 like 24 hours a day. He fell asleep playing Lego Batman 3. Not like nighttime. Like I wasn't like letting him stay up to where he just fell asleep. It was just like I was working.
It was 2 a.m.
Right. It was during the middle of the day. I was working. He was playing some Lego Batman.
Was he
3.
drinking?
He might have had some orange juice. Yeah.
Okay.
But like I turned around and he was just playing like right behind me. I turned around because like I was kept on hearing like the same like dialogue, like their little I'm standing around doing nothing dialogue. And I'm like, what's going on? And I turned around and he's just like passed out with a controller in his hand. And that and Ooblets. Ooblets is still quality
hot.
Game.
Still hot in the Shipwreck house?
It is still hot.
Nice. I guess it's time to talk about the Xbox event.
Yeah.
I got a list of all the games right here from the Xbox Wire, the official mouthpiece of Xbox.
Nice.
So
that's what it's there for.
To give us all the marketing buzzwords that go along with these games.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yes. I didn't take notes because I actually watched like the second half of the Xbox thing live, and then I watched the first half in 4K on YouTube.
Ooh.
And boy, that was great. So yeah, they showed the first game was Halo Infinite. Shipwreck, you're the Halo. I feel like you're the biggest Halo fan out of the three of us.
Of the three of us.
Would that be accurate?
That is accurate.
It's fair.
I played a lot of Halo multiplayer, but I never was really particularly impressed by the story parts.
I probably swung the other way. I loved the story, and I played a lot of multiplayer as well, but
you've like read the books.
I've read some of the books, yes. Several of the books.
I know.
So it's open world Halo with a map and missions on a map, and it looks like there's some upgrade skill points, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, there was a tab when they paused it, when they showed the map and the skill checkpoints. One of the tabs said upgrades. So that makes me think that maybe there's going to be some light RPG elements in this.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that's just upgrading maybe your gadgets, your doodads,
that's fine.
maybe. Yeah. No, that's fine.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely, I mean,
better
has
boots,
the grappling hook as well. I am cautiously optimistic for it, because what I've loved about the Halo campaigns is that the areas are so well thought out combat wise, that the linear fashion of them really works well, because they're able to place what enemies are where and where cover is.
They can do that. They can do that in this environment.
They can do that. Like Destiny does a good job of that. So as long as they do a good job at that, I think this will work well. It's definitely a game. I'm assuming you're going to be able to play it co-op for story. Yeah. I hope.
Hand YOLO writes in the chat, how do we feel about the changes? Were there, it didn't seem like there were many changes. These are minor, just modernization points, I feel.
Those are pretty big changes for a Halo game, though. I mean, it's been pretty static with their game design. Is it
Assassin's Creed with Master Chief?
I don't think it'll be that far. I think it's going to be similar to like a Destiny type, but not as on line with the campaign, I'm guessing.
But, Halo always had, in the campaign, even though it was linear, they did have big landscapes, and they would put small battles in the landscapes. I feel like it's not really that big of a leap.
In the past, Halo games have always done that. It feels like you're playing in a much larger space than you really are.
Exactly.
The combat tended to be a little more funneled. It'll be interesting to see how the game plays when there actually is a large space.
And I think they'll, even though it's a big open world, it's natural to think that they'll go and have their smaller linear levels where you go into a ship or a base or something within those missions. So it looked good. The combat looked like Halo.
Right.
The guys were going down awfully quick, but I'm assuming that was just because of the demo. That they had.
What did you think of the visuals? As Darkness writes in and wants to, he said it didn't look next gen to him.
They did release a 4K 60 frames per second stream.
I watched it. Demo. No, that's what I watched.
How'd it look?
It looks like Halo to me.
So some of that I think is just the art style of Halo.
Yeah.
Right? It's not as realistic even looking as something like Destiny. Like Destiny has more grit behind it, where Halo,
it's not realistic looking at all. Everything's
correct.
So bright, and everything's even these like monsters that you're fighting, they're wearing like super pretty armor, like pretty
everything's
blue.
Like iridescent and it's purple and it's very bright. Halo's a very bright game.
Yeah, and maybe that's it. Everything now goes for, if you want it to really look to pop, you go for realism, like a Cyberpunk or something like that. But I agree. It looked good and fun, but the visuals, I didn't think it's like this is like a showpiece game for the Series X. It didn't appear that way to me, at least.
Was there one in this showcase, this game showcase?
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah,
But I agree with Darkness in that it didn't seem like a next-gen showcase game, even though it's Halo. But then maybe just the fault of the Halo art style. It's like too risky for them to probably like try to go too far in any direction with the way Halo looks. People expect a certain look, I think, and I don't know. Maybe they didn't have the balls.
Yeah, even the like human characters in the Halo games, they've never been given realistic like features. It's always been kind of cartoony. So I wouldn't expect it. Like, even I don't know who Beardo was that was with Master Chief. I'm not familiar with that character.
Beardo? Oh, the guy, yeah, the comic relief guy.
It was me.
Oh.
It was you. He was annoying.
It was me.
I know, it's all a clear picture now.
Yeah, so I think they'll do fine with Halo. I think it will be
of course. I'm happy to play
great
it. I'm looking
launch
forward to
title
it.
for a new system.
Yeah. Ghetto Sith Lord asks if we think there'll be a battle royale mode. It's got to be, right?
Probably.
Definitely. How can they not? No question about it. If you want the kids to play, that's what the kids are into. These kids, they may not know about Master Chef. They know about battle royale, though. They know about what's that dance, Wombat? The floss.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get Master Chef doing the floss. I think you're gonna make hundreds of dollars. Next, they showed a game called As Dusk Falls. What was that? I can't even remember.
That was the one that was like this, almost like still images that kind of moved a little bit.
Yeah, that was later though, wasn't it?
No, that was this one. This is the one where.
Oh, this is not in order.
This is not in order. That did not.
Xbox. What are you doing to me, Xbox?
Whatever. Does it matter? This is the one where the family gets kidnapped and then the daughter grows up and confronts the son of the kidnappers. I don't know. You now know as much as I honestly don't care.
It was
I
like
watched this with Ty.
The hand drawn one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or hand painted. That was a weird game to showcase.
Is Life is Strange like that big a game that there was like 15 games on this list that seemed like that game?
Life is Strange was pretty big, but I get what you're saying. Yes.
I think
I understand that people like that game, but do I need like 30 of them?
I think it makes money. I think that's the key point, is that they can.
Well, they're all on
Game
Pass, but whatever.
Well, I'm saying maybe those games are inexpensive to make compared to other types of games, and there's a good return on investment, perhaps.
Sure. I guess we'll find out when we talk about the next 17 of them.
Well, so I guess this isn't this is in alphabetical order, I think. Yeah, it is. It totally is. Come on, Xbox. We want to see it in presentation order. See, this is what happens when I don't take notes. So then not then. Oh, how are we going to do this, Shipwreck?
Well, just say it. They
just
showed
say
Avowed.
The name of the game, and we'll figure out if we remember what it was.
Yeah, they showed Avowed.
Okay, Avowed. We know what Avowed
I remember
is.
that one.
They showed like 15 seconds of it.
On board.
Skyrim.
This game will come out sometime between now and 2030.
Right.
It's the game Obsidian wants to make.
And it's the game Obsidian wants to make.
And they're gonna
That's
make
all
it.
we're going to say about it because it doesn't exist.
Right. They want to make it. They haven't made it yet. They want
Just
to
like
make
the next game on the list. The next game on the list also does not exist yet. It's called Fable. I'm glad that they said they're gonna make a Fable.
Right.
But until they actually make Fable,
right.
I don't care.
That is one, like, both of those games are the kind of thing you do in a showcase. Right?
Sure.
Like, those are the games it's like, yes, I want to get this new console because I'm getting a new Skyrim type game, and I'm getting a new Fable, and I'm getting a new Halo.
Sure.
But you're not getting it at any time soon with
don't
the console.
That's not what you're looking for.
It's the promise of
things. It's the promise of
the promise.
Like, after you had the Xbox One, where basically nothing was promised as far as here's a bunch of games, and nothing came out for like first party stuff. Like, you had your Gears and your Halo, but they had all these licenses that just did not come out this generation. Like, this was your showcase to say, like, hey, yeah, we listened. Here's your Viva Pinata. Here's your Fusion Frenzy. Like, here's all the weird stuff that Xbox people want. And they almost completely whiffed on it.
Right. They knew they had to include something. I mean,
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I'm excited.
but it's
I'm
not
as
going to be out for
excited
3 years. I'm sure.
But yeah, I'll get more excited when I know what the game is.
Right.
That's when I'll care.
Right.
You play as the frog.
Yeah, exactly.
You eat fairies for sustenance.
I
It's
mean,
the entire game of fairy eating.
I'll take it. Forza Motorsport. I believe that's going to be a game where you drive cars around.
Yes. What's the? They didn't say anything about it really.
No,
That's perfect.
Well, there's going to be cars in
Just
it. They're going to look shiny. You're
Right.
going to drive them in a circle, and that's the game.
Right. They
Mhm.
showed no gameplay footage. It was all rendered in engine, but there
Yeah,
was
that's
no
why I
actual
don't care.
gameplay footage.
That's okay. I didn't want to watch like a 5-minute Forza trailer anyways.
No, all they need to say is
Right?
Forza.
Like, I
I
love
do.
playing
If it's-
Forza.
I would
love
watch
playing
it. What do you
Forza.
mean you don't want to watch
It's
it?
just uninteresting to
It's
watch.
boring.
It's really boring.
Why? Because they don't have hats in this one.
Yes.
Are they gonna put hats on the cars this time?
It's
Like,
not
that
made
would
out
be
of
more
Legos.
interesting if they put
It's not
hats
made
on
out
the
of
cars
Legos.
themselves.
It's not
Right.
on Hot Wheel tracks.
I hear
Not
that
a
instead of
Batmobile.
instead
I
of the
don't
slot
care.
instead of the slot machine to unlock all the different things, they're gonna have a whole casino. So slots, you got video poker, you got the craps, everything. It's
Okay.
gonna be big. It's gonna be really big this year. Can't wait to get those dance moves in Forza.
If
There's
the
a
cars danced, maybe.
That's a different game, I feel. That's like, I don't know what that is. That's what we need though. That's the type. I mean,
That's the whole thing I'm taking away from like this Xbox presentation. And I know you keep on telling me we're getting to stuff, but we're not going to get to any of the stuff that I'm talking about. There was like literally no fun in this showcase.
No, it's
There's nothing.
I know what
Nothing
you're
what I
saying.
would consider that was like, oh
Hold.
yeah, that like really captures my imagination.
no, that's not true. There was one game, the
What
the rare
about?
game.
Well, wait. What about? Let's get back on track here. What about the gunk? That looked cute.
I'm not like a steampunk type of guy. You know
That
what I
had
mean?
puzzles and stuff. It had like a what's that game? The Planet game that came out recently. It had that kind of vibe.
Planet game?
The Planet game.
Captain Planet?
No, something
Outer
on a something
Worlds?
planet. It was
Forbidden
no,
Planet?
the planet was in the title.
Oh.
Something on a something planet. It's
Yeah,
kind of like that
I know what you're
game.
talking about. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I don't know. Lonely people on a lonely planet. It doesn't matter. That game looked like that. It almost seemed like the same game. But why not? Again, the other thing with these games is they're all going to be on Game Pass, so I don't even have to care that much. I'll try them, I guess. Journey to a Savage Planet. Thank you, Chan Pipple D. It seemed like that. Just
I think the only thing that I was like excited to see, like I'm going to play a lot of these games, that's fine, but the upgrades that they had done to Psychonauts 2 since the last time that I'd seen it.
we
at
didn't get up
E3
to that
last-
yet.
I don't care what order we're going in. I want to talk about the stuff I want to talk about.
We're not up to. We're not.
We're not to the P's yet. Sorry. Where are we at in the alphabet?
And actually, it's not even in that kind of alphabetical order. It's
It's
weird.
not. Is it under S?
It's
are we
on.
going phonetically? How are we,
You'll see.
okay. Fine. I will table my talking about Psychonauts 2 to the appropriate time.
Oh,
Where
you're
are we
right.
at?
They're in some of them there's a section of highly anticipated games and there's a section of world premiere games. That's why.
Okay, where are we at? Are we highly anticipated or world premiere?
Now, right now we're at Fantasy Star Online 2, which I guess we could just skip right over that.
Right. Thanks for bringing us back to that.
Right.
Stalker 2.
I didn't even see that. I think I missed that.
You saw it. It was dark. It was
They didn't show much.
no.
Yeah, not much to talk about. Same even with State of Decay 3, which it's that game's fine, I guess. This is for the second one, but it's more that I don't like survival games, so it's hard.
The graphics looked really nice in that.
But that's not the
just
game,
showed,
dude.
Yeah, they just showed the cinematic.
State of Decay. It's a
I know
like
State of Decay.
isometric
The
base
CG
building
looked really
game.
good.
It was great. I wanted to watch. I wanted to play that game, but it's
Right.
not. I don't think that's State of Decay. I mean, you're not going to be like.
Maybe it
hunting.
is.
Are you gonna play co-op Tetris?
Sure.
We're all connected. Let's hold hands, everybody.
I like Tetris.
I like picking out people I knew in the trailer.
Yeah, that
Yep.
was fun too.
That was
Fun times. Are you gonna play Warhammer for Dead?
That did look cool.
Yeah.
They make
Left
good
Left 4 Dead with Warhammer people in it.
Some of those Warhammer games are pretty fun. You don't really need to
They
know
are
anything
fun.
about Warhammer.
I've played most of them.
Yeah. Have you
This
played the
one,
the sword one? First person sword game?
I think so.
I forgot what that's called.
Yeah, I know. what you're talking
Vermintide.
about.
Everybody
Vermintide.
did.
Yes, I did play that one.
Or Vermintide. I don't know. Depends where you're from, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, Tetris sounds cool. I'm so bad at Tetris. I feel like I should have been in that Tetris trailer just as somebody who's like really bad at Tetris, and I could be just crying in the corner.
And your fly could have been open. It would have been great.
Or somebody could
Now-
be playing for me. Somebody could be playing for me while I.
Now
anyway.
we're up to
Yes.
updates on highly anticipated games.
I've been
like,
anticipating this section.
like Crossfire X, which is a legendary PC franchise that I honestly have never heard of, but
I don't know
I'm
what
sure
that
you
is.
guys have.
I'm clicking on it to see if it rings a bell. But
Now, what I saw is that even though everything shown is coming to Game Pass, for Crossfire X, the campaign is not, only the multiplayer is, which is weird.
it's smart. I feel it's a
guess.
good strategy. See how that plays out. Like, let's get people to enjoy the free multiplayer, and maybe they'll throw us a few bucks to play the single player.
Hmm.
I mean, I like that. I like that. Seems fair
Mm-hmm.
to the customer.
All that Destiny 2 news, all the expansions are coming to Game Pass, and Beyond Light is going to be on Game Pass. That's the next chapter, and it's Destiny 2 Beyond Light, not Destiny 3, which is interesting in itself.
They're still fixing Destiny. They're still fixing this game, Wombat. It's going to take like another year or so.
I know. I feel like that game is way past me.
They
now.
didn't need to fix anything with Destiny 2. It's just that it's gotten so involved that if you're not deep into Destiny 2 still, you're gonna be lost.
Right. I'm lost.
Mhm.
I'm lost already.
I like it. It's just, yeah, I'm just not in it. So
I mean that was my game of the year that it came out. I played a ton of Destiny 2
Yeah.
and then the DLC came out and it was like, oh, this is beyond my commitment level.
Right. Exactly. I
know
didn't
what
sign
you're-
up for this shit.
you know what
I
you're
mean, I
not way
could
beyond.
learn a foreign language or something. You know, I don't need to. I don't need to be studying Destiny.
You can play as an Eternal as you explore and build bonds with the world around you.
What are you talking about? What's an Eternal?
Everwild. It will be available on the
Oh.
Xbox Series X,
Oh, I
Windows 10
didn't- I
PC,
didn't
and
know we were
Xbox
talking-
Game Pass.
I
didn't
thought
know-
good transition there, Wombat.
Yeah.
Thank
yeah.
you.
Just- I thought
yeah.
this was the most visually impressive game that I saw there. To be honest, Everwild.
I don't know what it is. I
I
don't know
don't
what
either.
you saw that impressed you. All I saw was looked like grandmas standing in a circle yelling at a deer. That's what I saw.
I mean, that's innovation, and that's
That's
art.
what I saw. It looked like a bunch of grandmas yelling at a dead animal.
It's gonna be. Hold on. What was the buzzword here? That's not good. That's not.
Yes,
selling it.
this was the rare game.
I'm interested in that one because I did like the visuals and that it's rare.
Yeah,
developing
that
it. Like,
that one got my attention. It looked really. I
I
thought,
mean, it's rare. I'm gonna give it a shot, and the Game Pass thing helps.
You know what
But-
it should have been? It should have been Viva Pinata.
Yeah.
that's that's a.
You play as an
IP. That's
eternal
pretty good.
pinata
Right.
that looks like a grandma.
I feel like Xbox just they don't understand that they have all these properties that people actually are interested in. And they just
Forgot.
keep trying to create these new IPs that are just like one-off IPs for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Everwild. No idea
Oh.
what it is.
I think to me, at least, unless we come across something that jogs my memory, I think that was the most memorable game for me. Everwild. What else?
I'm interested in Grounded. I know that Wombat said he played it and it didn't really click with him, but
It's
That-
another survival game. It's, you have nothing. You gotta build, clothing and weapons.
and you're the size of an ant.
but you're
or
the
something,
size
right?
smaller
yeah,
than
it's,
an
Honey-
ant.
it's Honey I
Smaller.
Shrunk the Kids.
Yeah, and if you die, your stuff falls to the ground, and you have to start all over again. And you can go find your stuff out in the wild, but you don't necessarily,
I'll have to
it's a
try
little
that one to
roguelike.
see what the level structure is like. If there's a progression to it, it's something that Mrs. Shipwreck and I would play. If it's
I don't-
strictly like we're not going to feel like we accomplished anything,
It's
You're gonna build bases.
I don't know how rogue the final game is going to be.
Well, it's out next week.
That's
Find
crazy.
out.
You'll find out next week.
Yeah. Oh, that's an Obsidian joint.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There's the game, The Medium. Do you remember that one?
Yeah, that's another
I do.
Life is Strange game.
Oh,
No, that's a Bloober one, right?
Yeah. What's
That's
Bloober?
Bloober Team.
What is
What's
that?
Bloober? Bloober, they make a whole bunch of like survival horror type stuff.
Name
like
one.
good stuff. Name one. The good ones that Bloober makes.
The Bloobs.
Bloober.
Meet the Bloobers.
They have a horrible studio name, and that's why I can never remember what their games are.
But this one is travel to an old communist resort and use your unique psychic abilities to uncover disturbing secrets, solve dual reality puzzles, survive encounters with sinister spirits,
I remember this.
and explore 2 realities at the same time. How
Now
many
that's-
realities does your game have?
Well, if you're the other game that they showed elsewhere, and there's another game that had 2 realities, I'm pretty sure within the Microsoft Game Showcase.
Hey, there's plenty of room for everybody's realities.
Right. Bloober Team made Observer and Layers of Fear and the Blair Witch game.
Cool.
Right. Blooper. All right. What else?
I don't know. You have the list in front of you.
The Outer Worlds DLC, which is not free with Game Pass, but you do get 10% off. And that's more Outer Worlds. I love that game. It's great. I don't know if I need to pay to play more of it. In September.
Another thing of like, really, this is the showcase.
Yeah.
You're giving us DLC for Outer Worlds for 10% off. This is the showcase game you're showing.
Yeah.
Right, and that's actually the exception to their rule of everything that we show is available on Game Pass.
Well, I guess because the game is.
Yeah, but
technically
that's-
they
I mean,
can-
I get it because it's Obsidian and they own Obsidian now.
it's also one of the few things that has a date.
Yeah. It's
September
just
9th.
weird because like
good date.
I lean Xbox over PlayStation. Like that's where
You
I
swing
lean.
Xbox.
I'm certainly not like in one camp or the other, but I feel like they got this pretty wrong with the games that they were showing.
Mm-hmm.
I hear that. Yeah.
Speaking
I
of
think
which,
you
tell
want to
me
go
why.
big. I think
Tell
you
me
wanna-
why.
Maybe exactly. There's time.
Oh, this one is actually from the studio that created the beloved and award-winning franchise Life is Strange. Comes Tell Me Why. Ah.
What was that? What was Tell Me Why? Another one. Yeah, that was the Alaska Life is Strange. Right, I remember that.
Mhm. And
Balin-
Psychonauts 2 does look pretty
Psychonauts 2. That I can talk about that now. Are we to that
Yeah.
point?
Yeah.
So I saw that at E3 last year, and I was like, okay, this looks cute, but visually it just was not that impressive. But now it looks fantastic as far as the art style and
Jack Black singing.
yeah, Jack Black singing, and just the imagination behind it. Like that was one of the few games where I'm like, okay, this seems like something that would be fun to explore, where everything else was just like, okay, this is a horror game. This is a first person shooter in a dark environment game. This is another Life is Strange game.
Yes. Yep. Did you watch any of the pre-event stuff? Did you see anything about Balan Wonderland or Dragon Quest 11?
No.
'Cause
That
those
was
are
on
both
the Jeff
coming.
Keighley show?
Yeah. Dragon Quest, I believe, is coming to Game Pass. So that's kind of exciting. You don't get many Dragon Quest type JRPGs on the Xbox,
Sure.
let alone ones you could just play. That's also dated December 4th. Interesting. So,
Is that it for the show? Did we get through everything? All their games?
that they showed at the thing, yeah. Hello
was-
Neighbor 2 was announced.
Yeah, I guess that wasn't really like a super duper strong show then. I mean, we just
No.
sort of like blew through that. We hit everything, right?
Yeah.
You know what the problem was? Like, They had some good stuff, but when you look at like the length of time of the show, the entire length of it, and the amount of time spent on the things that you'd be interested in, like I feel like the big games like that would get people the most excited for the new Xbox would be Halo, obviously. I would say Avowed, Fable, Forza, the big games. And those games didn't really get much screen time because they probably don't exist much at this point. But I don't know. I guess that's not really our problem. But I noticed that like you have a lot of time spent on Life is Strange type games. That's where they spent several minutes on showing those. So I don't know. Like as people are pointing out in the chat, I don't know that they did a great job selling a next generation console. But
no, I don't think so either. But then again, all the the best games that look to be coming out in the near future are all playable on your Xbox One. So there's still Assassin's Creed coming out this year. There's still Cyberpunk coming out this year. And those, it doesn't matter what console you own. So,
yeah, it's just that, that was kind of what they banked on this go around, this generation, right? It didn't matter which one because they all get the third-party games, which is still true. It's just, I thought they would have learned their lesson a little bit more than this.
Have something. I thought they were going to end it with, and Fable is exciting, but I thought they might end it with, and here's something else that's coming this fall.
Right.
Because that's what they needed.
Here's Conker. Here he is. We found Conker. He was sitting back here this entire time.
Right.
I mean, I don't know if that would sell a console, but but
it would still get a reaction.
But it would get a reaction. It would get people excited, and it would get people excited in the short term. It's the same thing that we used to complain about Nintendo for doing, that they've done somewhat of a better job on, is, it's good to have the long-term plan, but if you have no short-term plan, I get it. Halo's going to be out. But then what?
All right. Well, let me ask you this question. Did you see any game in that conference that made you think, oh, yeah, I need a new console to play that?
No.
I don't think I saw that.
I'm going to get a new console. And
I know
Halo.
you are, but
I'm going to get a new console, play Halo. I would buy an Xbox One X right now if they would allow that to happen.
I understand this. But did you see something that looks like, oh, yeah, that's next gen hotness right there? Because I don't think I saw that.
No.
I mean, maybe that Skyrim Avowed, but you saw 5 seconds of it.
That game's not going to be out until 2037.
I know. I feel dopey even really talking about it. But I guess they must have a big. I'd imagine they're going to have another big presentation in a couple months where they announce the price of the console and show more games. Hopefully,
hype the console, because this wasn't about hyping the console.
Right.
Do you think that they're hurting themselves by doing this so piecemeal? Do you think they waited too long to do this?
I don't think
Should
it's a
they
big
have
deal.
done this the first week
matter.
of June?
It fucking doesn't matter. They're gonna sell They're gonna sell probably all these that they have. It's not a big deal. I think they could have done it better, but they probably have another one of these planned in 2 months, and they're gonna show more shit. Hopefully, it would be great if there was like some Fable gameplay in there, but I just don't think it exists.
I think people want to know if this one was better than the Sony one or worse than the Sony one. I think they were probably the same, because if you ask me what they showed at the Sony one, I honestly already forgot.
Right, Spider-Man.
So, I remember
Spider-Man. I remember Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah.
Which,
That's
you know
good.
what? I'll give them this much. They had more to show of both of those games.
Yes.
Which was the smarter strategy. You gotta get. I mean, if they showed us some Halo and, like you said, something like a Conquer, or maybe something that a platformer to kind of like a balance. Like, oh, you played this Halo, it's crazy, and now you're gonna come down with this. But I don't know.
Come down is always Forza. It's always here's Halo.
And here's Forza.
Forza
I know. I'm
it.
but it had to be something else. Yeah.
Oh yeah, in the chat somebody said remind us about Horizon Zero as well. That was the other one that Sony had.
What's
at
that?
theirs.
Oh, Sony. Yeah. Sure. Yep.
Again, which they also had more gameplay to show.
Yes, I believe. Well, Horizon?
Did they? I
can't remember. Yeah.
Brute Force. It should have been Halo and Brute Force.
I mean, they have all this stuff that even like as
Remember how badly they screwed up Crackdown?
Well, they didn't make they screwed up Crackdown pretty bad because it never seemed like they committed to it.
Nope,
Like they just
didn't.
let it like languish forever, and then it was the same game that could have come out like 3 years earlier than it did.
Yeah.
Right.
So
yeah, it does. Here's a
I
good
hate
question.
to be like super negative on it, but I'm not like upset about anything they showed. I just think they could have done better.
Yeah, of course. Here's a good question from the chat from Christine Liu. She asks, "Do we need new consoles yet?"
I don't think we probably don't.
Yeah, it doesn't. They're not. I don't think either company has done a great job.
You know how I know we don't? This is how I know we don't.
Okay.
This is the thing that they love to push on us now. They're really pushing is the no load times. It's going to be no load times at all. When was the last time in a generation where they really talked about load times ever?
They did on the 360 generation.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like it's not something that comes up, but it wasn't like you don't start with that.
Dude, there's definitely diminishing returns when you get to a certain point visually. Like, the point where we're at now. Like, there's just not that much farther you can go. Like, I think that's the problem. Like with Halo, is like where do you go from everything looking like perfectly crisp and clear, and you have this certain art style that you have to hit. It's just
no load times.
That's where you go, and you go for like higher resolution. But does the resolution even matter if you're at 1080p or 1440p? Does 4K really make a difference? It's hard to tell. Like 60 frames versus 120 frames. Like, it's definitely diminishing returns at this point. And yeah, it doesn't seem like the new consoles are super necessary at this point. But they coming. Get ready. But I don't know that either company has done a great job saying why we need them. Other than that they're selling them and we like new stuff. That's all. But that's really, that's life. Are we ready for the CAG bag?
I guess
make it
so.
Through the whole Microsoft shebang and everything else? I think we did.
Mm-hmm. We talked about Paper Mario already. Paper Mario.
Okay, this is from @GamingDad1643, and he asks, given the pandemic, we've answered this question already. What kind of stock levels on consoles, current and next gen, can we expect this holiday season? Just recently, at some corporate meeting, I can't remember if it was Ubisoft or...
I think it was Ubisoft.
One executive was asked whether there was going to be constraints on new hardware, and he said no, flat out no. So doesn't sound like there's anything to worry about there. It wasn't just a Microsoft question. I believe it was
both.
Both. So it doesn't sound like there's going to be any problem.
I don't think there should be anything more than normal on it at this point, because there's some supply chain issues on electronics, but it's pretty open right now. It's not too bad.
Right. And going back to the loading times feature, the thing that you were talking about, Wombat, or like, is that what we're selling now, basically? The loading times are pretty good in most games these days. Like Ghost of Tsushima, like you can't even read the tips. They have like those loading tips.
Just the tips?
They come on on the loading screens. Like, it's over before you can even read one. So I don't know. I mean, some games, of course, have ridiculous loading times. But anyway, @Darwin Loves Devo writes in and asks if we're checking out the what? How do you say this? Double I arcade, like earcade? Arcade? Maybe the Kickstarter says the pronunciation on it? I don't know. But I looked at it, and it looks like a modern arcade cabinet that they've pre-installed. It's another one of these things where they pre-installed a bunch of games. This is like 200 games. But once you read past like the first 5, you probably haven't heard of too many of these, I'm thinking. Have you heard of this before, Ship?
I have not. I'm quickly scrolling through the Kickstarter.
Yeah, they have like a Dragon's Lair cabinet that kind of doesn't look that good. Looks like this too much.
So this has a similar type thing as oh, I forgot the little arcade emulator machine that I bought off Kickstarter, where you can download and install from online. Like that's what they're doing with this as well.
Yeah. I don't like the look of it per se. I think it's not that attractive looking. Maybe at least like that Dragon's Lair one for sure. It's like too much Dragon's Lair. It's like
it doesn't look like it's full size either, right? It looks.
I think they have two or no. I couldn't.
I think they have a bar top one and then
a full size.
A kind of full size one. It looks like it's a little bit bigger than a 1-Up arcade, maybe.
It's athletic sized. I don't think anyone's either of us are in the market for a arcade. Arcade.
I played Dragon's Lair last week.
Where?
At my house.
How?
I have it on the Xbox.
How'd you do?
I finished it. I played it with Elliot.
How'd you finish it?
Because you can play it on. You could have unlimited continues on the Xbox.
Did he like
Okay.
it?
Yeah, he was like he was like completely enthralled by it. Like
I was too when it came out.
Exactly, and he's just the right age for it. And I'm like, you know what? Let's finish this. This is another good one for you and your kid, Chip, because it's only 45 minutes. So you could like actually finish the game with them in the room. And then after we finished the game, he wanted to know if there was any more like Dragon's Lair stuff you could see. So we watched that one episode of the cartoon.
Don't Google. I'm guessing.
No, we watched the cartoon that on Plex. You have one episode of it. So yeah. We watched that, and he got all the references in the cartoon because he saw them all in the game.
Finished the game. Not many people. When that cartoon came out, most people had not finished the arcade game, and there was no way to watch the whole fucking thing. Like,
yep,
not like today where everything's.
The animation in that game is pretty outstanding.
Yeah, of course, it's just a cartoon.
Yeah, but it's good animation. It doesn't mean Yeah, Don Bluth did a good job.
I love that when it came out.
I bet you'll be able to play that on the next gen consoles.
Finally, we can play it at 120 frames per second.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we got here. Oh, let's go from the chat here. Okay, here's one from Mr. B15. What movie is going to get you to brave the cinema again? What's going to be that first movie that gets you back to the movie theater? We're not saying when.
I know.
What?
I want to think it might be Black Widow, but honestly, it depends on where we are when that movie comes out. Because I wouldn't see anything right now.
But what's the movie? Is there any movie you're dying?
I'm saying if any movie, if it could be, I don't care. Avengers 5 came out tomorrow. I wouldn't go see it in the theaters.
Right. Okay.
What about the Snake Eyes movie?
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
When's the earliest that you see yourself going to a movie theater? What month?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Years better.
Like maybe November, and that's like optimistic.
Yeah, that sounds like a fucking pipe dream.
I know.
New York, we got our shit down pretty good in New York right now. People are masking up. Although at the ice cream place today, people like behind me, they're fucking right on top of me. They have the lines on the sidewalk outside. 6 feet. It's right there. You can't fucking miss it. There's a group of young ladies. They're right up all up my area. And they're not all masked up even. And I turned around and I was like, excuse me. I know everybody wants to be close to me. I haven't showered in a couple of days and it's 85 degrees and 85% humidity. But maybe back up a little. So yeah, to answer Mr. B's question is no movie. Except for Shipwreck, if there's a G.I. Joe movie. Maybe.
The Snake Eyes movie is supposed to come out this year.
Right. So if could that be it?
I'm guessing that it won't be highly attended.
Correct. There'll be nobody there. And you could actually check ahead of time because you buy the tickets online. You can see what's available. You could really.
Right. There's no way that they put that Snake Eyes movie out in the theater, though. Right?
No. I don't know. They still say the New Mutants movie is coming out at the end of August. Right. They did a panel with them today, and they're like, yeah, it's going to be out in the end of August. Like, are you willing to wager money on that?
Right. While we're talking about G.I. Joe, here's a question from Roland13. He says he wants to know how Shipwreck feels about the G.I. Joe Classified line of man toys.
We've answered this question.
Oh, that's
before.
Yeah,
that's
we
what the,
talked about
okay.
it before.
We went
Yeah.
through those on GameStop. We like them. We all like them. Did you
Yeah,
order any of them?
I haven't bought any of them yet. No.
Okay, they did look good. They look like of a very high quality.
There's a retro line coming out too.
Yeah, that looks better, and those are better priced.
Yeah.
Thorbon sent me the Transformers. There's a new line of Transformers toys coming out, and Walmart has the Soundwave exclusive.
Mhm.
And he sent me the pre-order link, and I was like, he's like, I think you want this, and I was like, oh, I do want this, and I went to order, and it was fucking sold out already. But I got the OG Soundwave right here.
Yeah, so. Since there's San Diego Comic-Con is virtual this year, Funko was selling all their exclusives. They're like, stay tuned to this. We're going to sell our Funko exclusive. We're going to put the link up, and then you'll wait in line, and then you can buy stuff. And they sold out in like 3 minutes of everything.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. Like, what was the point of that? 3 minutes.
I was
and
so
you can see
excited too.
They had then like it was like one tweet saying, "All right, the link's open," and then another tweet like 2 minutes later, "We're sorry, everything sold out."
Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh man, I had to like put in my credit card information to buy that Soundwave. Like, 'cause I haven't bought anything from Walmart from forever, so like all my credit cards expired, and I had to change my password. I had to do everything. I was like, oh, it's fucking sold out.
How excited are we that there appears to be a G.I. Joe game coming out though?
That's big news.
And this year.
Yes.
And the
From the
developer was
makers of
okay,
the-
right?
Huh?
The developer was okay or no?
From the makers of the Monster Truck Jam game that Shipwreck loves so much.
Different Monster Jam.
Oh.
Oh.
I mean the publisher is Game Mill. I don't know that they've announced who is developing it yet. But I'm just happy to see that there's a G.I. Joe game in 2020. I'm hoping for the best. They have not announced that this thing even exists yet, but there is box art out there.
That's not a great sign.
They really need to get that.
What do you mean? It's not a great sign that they haven't announced it yet?
Yeah, I mean, if the game's coming out at the end of the year and they just announced the game now, I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It seems like a short runway.
Well, I mean,
it's G.I. Joe. It's not like some unknown thing. Like,
well, I don't think this is going to be a triple A type of budget on this G.I. Joe game. So
Battle Royale probably.
No, but they should have G.I. Joe in Fortnite. That's what's missing from Fortnite is G.I. Joe. They should do a full G.I. Joe season. The G.I. Joe season pass. Shipwreck, would you buy that? If Fortnite had a G.I. Joe season pass, would you do it?
Nope.
No?
I don't play Fortnite.
But would you start for all the G.I. Joe people?
If you could if they had Shipwreck skin and it looked like you.
But the problem is I don't play Fortnite.
You could start.
You know how easy it is to pick up Fortnite? I did it. If I did it, I'm pretty sure a one-armed monkey could do it.
But I don't think I would. Like I'm not a battle royale aficionado, right? So unless it is fully themed G.I. Joe battle royale, then maybe. If I'm just running around as Snake Eyes in Fortnite, that does very little for me.
No erection.
I don't know. I think you would like it, but what do I know?
I guess not. He just told you he does not like it.
I know. I like running around as Captain America.
That's you.
But you like Fortnite.
I do like Fortnite, and I like Captain America.
Right.
It's kind of like the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup of video games.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here's a good question from the Locust Horde. He wants to know if any of us are going to buy any new hardware for the new consoles, like television, surround sound, headsets, streaming gear, blah, blah, blah.
I just got new speakers, so the answer to that is no.
And your TV's pretty new too, right?
The TV's a year old. The speakers are 3 months old. So I don't think I'm getting anything new for quite some time.
I'm good as well. I bought that 4K projector earlier this year.
I bought this TV behind me in 2015.
You're due
here. 2014.
You're due
2014. When did I move here?
I don't know.
14. Yeah, 2014 we moved back.
You're due for a new TV.
6 years is due. It's not a great TV. I gotta say.
I know. That's what I'm saying. You complain about it all the time.
But what am I going to do with it? It technically works.
Put it in Ty's room.
It's 65 inches.
So
His room is like 8 by 8.
I know it'll be perfect for his room.
He's gonna get a sunburn from watching.
You put that in his
television.
room with like a Fire Stick or a Roku box. He could watch his Netflix and
I don't know.
you could watch Criminal Minds.
I just need somebody to. I don't know. I don't care. My surround sound thing that the TV is sitting on. That's even older. That's from Japan. That's like 15 years old, 10 years old. I don't know.
Did you not buy that sound bar
I bought
on that crazy sale?
No, I have this one right here. I don't need that. I got this one. It's still working fine. And that
I bought that one.
Shipwreck.
I know you did.
How that was? Yeah. I don't.
I didn't because I just got one like 2 months before.
I am trying to avoid buying anything. The next big ticket item I feel I'm going to get is a gaming PC, because this one I think is, I don't know. It's working fine now though. Doing a good job showing this nonsense. Okay, a couple more questions since I'm showing off this great technology. Darkness writes in and asks if Cheapy ordered the $1,500 gamer chair. That's the Logitech Herman Miller collab, which is basically just a Herman Miller chair that they've put an extra layer of ass foam in for fat gamer asses. And that's it, I think. And they put a Logitech tag on the back and they charge an extra $100 or something. No, this is my gaming chair. It's not a gaming chair. I don't even remember where I bought this. It's basically the Office Depot equivalent of Japan, I think. I'm pretty sure I bought this in Japan and it came home with me, but I'm not 100% sure. It's shitty for sure. But I'm not sitting in it that often, so I don't feel like I should invest in anything. Really. I'd rather just stand. But it looks, that $1,500 gamer chair looks really nice. I mean, if it happened to show up at my house, I would definitely sit in it. Last question. Oh, this is also from Darkness. He wants to know if you had any more auction victories, Ship.
I don't think I have since the last show. I mean, we had gotten just about everything we needed for the cabin, and I had enough record players. So
right.
I have stayed off the auction site for this, I don't know, a week and a half or so.
Good call. Good. There's a couple more. No, we're good. I think we're good. It's getting hot in here. Let's remind Wombat, read this. My voice is going. I don't know why. Wombat, wake up. What are you reading right now? I can see in your glasses. You're reading like. No, you're not. You're reading.
I have it right here. Go to. You want me to read it?
Please, Wombat.
Okay.
Thank you.
Go to feels.com/CAGcast and get 50% off your first order with free shipping. Make sure you follow us on Twitch, which you're watching us on right now.
Hit that follow button, and RoboCop will spin his gun.
Yeah. Twitch.tv/cheapassgamer. Follow us. Facebook.com/cheapassgamer. Twitter.com/cheaped.
Well, I don't even read these.
Twitter.com/newwombat. Twitter.com/shipwreck. YouTube.com/cheaped. Review us on iTunes. And don't forget to dig the podcast.
Wow, that was really good, Wombat.
Yeah.
I'm impressed with your read.
Thanks.
All right, we're going to raid. Stay tuned for the raid. We're going to raid Jimmy Mack again. I think people will enjoy his antics of watching some sort of television show and cursing over that television show. So thanks for watching, and we will see you next week.
Bread's done.